Do you ever feel adrift in the relentless flow of information, decisions, and daily demands? Do you yearn for a sharper mind, a clearer way to navigate the complexities of life, not just on special occasions, but every day? What if the key to unlocking a more profound, insightful way of thinking wasn't a modern secret, but timeless wisdom waiting to be rediscovered? Imagine possessing the clarity and focus of a genius, not by chance, but by conscious choice. The promise of thinking like a genius might seem daunting, reserved for a gifted few. But what if it's less about inherent brilliance and more about a cultivated practice? Today, we turn to one of history's greatest minds, Aristotle, not for complex doctrines, but for practical keys to unlock this everyday genius within you. His insights, though ancient, offer a powerful blueprint for a more thoughtful and impactful life. Aristotle believed that excellence, including intellectual excellence, is not an act, but a habit. This is fantastic news. It means that genius thinking isn't something you're born with or without. It's a skill you can develop, a way of approaching the world you can learn and refine daily. It's about transforming how you engage with your own mind and the world around you, step by step. So how do we begin this journey? Aristotle's path to clearer thinking starts with something deceptively simple: observation, but not just a casual glance. He championed a deep, purposeful seeing, a commitment to understanding the world as it truly is, in all its rich detail. This is the foundation upon which all clear thought is built. Consider your average day. How much do you truly observe? The fleeting expressions on a loved one's face, the subtle shifts in your own mood, the unspoken dynamics in a meeting. Aristotle would urge us to move beyond passive reception and become active gatherers of information, noticing the nuances that often hold the deepest insights. To think like a genius every day, begin by cultivating this Aristotelian habit of purposeful observation. This means paying attention without immediate judgment, simply to understand. It's about asking, "What is this?" before, "What do I think about this?" This initial stillness creates space for genuine understanding to emerge. Think of yourself as an explorer in the territory of your own life. What details have you been overlooking? What patterns might emerge if you watched with quiet curiosity? This active observation isn't about collecting data for its own sake, but about gathering the raw material for wiser decisions and deeper connections. It's the first step to seeing the world with new eyes. Aristotle emphasized empirical evidence, what we can sense and verify. In our daily lives, this means grounding our thoughts in reality. Before jumping to conclusions, especially about others or challenging situations, ask, what are the actual facts here? What have I truly seen or heard versus what have I assumed or inferred? This practice of focused observation extends inward. Pay attention to your own thought processes. Notice your habitual reactions, your biases, the stories you tell yourself. Becoming a keen observer of your inner landscape is crucial for breaking free from unhelpful mental patterns and cultivating a more objective, genius-like perspective. Let's make this practical. Today, choose one everyday interaction or task. Approach it with the intention of an Aristotelian observer. What new details do you notice? What assumptions can you set aside? This simple shift can begin to unlock a richer understanding of your daily experience. Now that we've explored the foundational role of observation, Aristotle guides us to the next pillar of genius thinking: reason. This is the ability to analyze what we observe, to connect the dots, to understand cause and effect, and to construct logical arguments. It's about moving from seeing to understanding. Reason, for Aristotle, wasn't just abstract logic. It was a tool for navigating the complexities of the world effectively. He believed our capacity to reason is what distinguishes us and allows us to strive for a good life. Genius thinking, then, heavily relies on honing this capacity for clear, structured thought. How often do we react emotionally before we reason? Aristotle would suggest we pause. When faced with a problem or a strong feeling, take a moment to dissect it. What are the core components of this situation? What are the underlying principles at play? This analytical pause is a hallmark of a disciplined mind. One powerful way to apply Aristotelian reason daily is to practice breaking down large challenges into smaller, manageable parts. Overwhelm often comes from seeing a problem as a monolithic giant. Genius thinking sees the interconnected pieces and addresses them systematically. What's one challenge you can deconstruct today? Aristotle was a master of identifying patterns and connections. Train your mind to do the same. After observing carefully, ask, how does this relate to what I already know? What are the recurring themes here? What is the underlying structure? This search for patterns helps to make sense of complexity and predict outcomes. Consider the why behind things. Don't just accept information at face value. Question assumptions, your own and others. Why is this so? What is the evidence for this claim? Are there alternative explanations? This Socratic-style questioning, refined by Aristotle's logic, sharpens your reasoning skills immensely. Everyday genius involves anticipating consequences. Before making a significant decision, however small, try to reason through the potential short-term and long-term effects. If I do X, what is likely to happen? And then what? This foresight, born of reason, can save you from many future difficulties. Aristotle also taught the importance of clarity in communication, which stems from clarity in thought. If you can explain a concept simply and logically, it's a good sign you truly understand it. Practice articulating your thoughts, even if just to yourself. This refines your internal reasoning. Beware of logical fallacies, common errors in reasoning that can lead us astray. Familiarize yourself with them. When you spot one in your own thinking or in an argument, you're exercising your Aristotelian critical faculties. This protects you from being misled and helps you build stronger arguments. So the daily practice here is to engage your reasoning mind actively. When faced with information, don't just absorb it, analyze it. When facing a decision, don't just react, reflect. This conscious engagement with your logical faculties is a powerful step toward thinking like a genius every day. We've explored purposeful observation and clear reasoning. But for Aristotle, thought without right action was incomplete. The third pillar of everyday genius, inspired by his ethics, is virtue and practical wisdom, applying our insights to live and act well. Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living well, is achieved through virtuous activity. Genius, in this context, isn't just about being smart. It's about using your intelligence to make choices that contribute to a good and meaningful life for yourself and others. This involves phronses, or practical wisdom. It's the ability to discern the right way to act in specific situations. It's about knowing what to do, when to do it, and why. This isn't purely intellectual. It's wisdom gained through experience and reflection on our actions and their impact. Every day presents countless opportunities to exercise practical wisdom. It's in how you respond to a colleague's stress, how you manage your time, how you resolve a disagreement, or how you choose to spend your resources. Each choice is a chance to align your actions with your deeper values. To cultivate this, Aristotle would encourage self-reflection on your motivations. Before acting, especially on impulse, ask, what value am I honoring with this action? Is this consistent with the kind of person I aspire to be? This pause allows your reasoning and values to guide your behavior. Virtuous action isn't about grand heroic gestures, but consistent, principled choices in everyday life. It's choosing honesty when it's difficult, kindness when it's easier to be indifferent, courage when faced with fear. These small acts, repeated daily, build a character capable of genius living. Consider the impact of your actions on others. Aristotle's ethics are deeply social. A genius, life isn't lived in isolation, but contributes to the well-being of the community. How can your unique insights and abilities serve a purpose greater than your own immediate needs? This means cultivating virtues like justice, temperance, and courage. Justice in treating others fairly, temperance in managing your desires and impulses, and courage in facing challenges and standing for what's right. These aren't abstract ideals but practical guides for daily conduct. A key part of practical wisdom is learning from mistakes. Not every action will be perfect. When you fall short, don't just feel regret. Analyze what happened, observation and reason, understand why reason, and discern how to act better next time. Practical wisdom. This is growth in action. The daily practice here is to bring intention to your actions. Connect your observations and reasons to how you choose to behave. Ask, given what I see and understand, what is the wisest, most virtuous way to proceed? This bridges the gap between knowing and doing, a crucial aspect of everyday genius. We've now explored Aristotle's three foundational pillars: purposeful observation, clear reasoning, and virtuous action with practical wisdom. But the title promises how to think like a genius every day. The crucial element, as Aristotle himself emphasized, is consistency. It's about making these practices a habit. Genius isn't a lightning strike of inspiration. It's the slow, steady cultivation of your intellectual and moral garden. Each day you practice observing more keenly, reasoning more clearly, and acting more wisely. You are strengthening these muscles of the mind. Don't aim for perfection immediately. Aim for small, consistent efforts. Perhaps today, you focus more on observation during your commute. Tomorrow, you consciously apply reason to one decision. The next day, you reflect on the virtue behind one action. These small steps accumulate. Create mental triggers or routines. For example, before checking your phone in the morning, take 1 minute to observe your breath and set an intention for mindful observation. Before an important meeting, take a moment to clarify your desired outcome based on reason and virtue. Journaling can be a powerful tool for daily Aristotelian practice. At the end of the day, briefly note, what did I observe with new clarity? How did I apply reason effectively? Was there a moment where I acted from practical wisdom or virtue? What could I improve? Remember, this isn't about adding more tasks to your already busy day. It's about shifting the quality of your attention and intention within the activities you're already doing. It's an internal recalibration, turning mundane moments into opportunities for growth. Embrace the process. There will be days when you feel more genius-like than others. That's natural. The key is the commitment to the practice, the gentle return to these principles of observation, reason, and virtuous action, day after day. This consistency is where the true transformation lies. This daily Aristotelian practice isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you truly are, unlocking your innate capacities for profound thought and wise living. It's about cultivating your own unique form of everyday genius. Let's crystallize this into a simple daily reflection you can use. A mental checklist to gently guide your focus each day, helping you to embody these Aristotelian principles. This is where the ancient wisdom meets your modern life head-on, creating a tangible shift. Begin your day or reflect at its end with these questions. First, what do I choose to observe with deeper attention today? This sets your intention for purposeful seeing, moving beyond the surface level of your experiences and interactions. Second, how will I apply reason to a challenge or decision I face? This prompts you to engage your analytical mind, to seek clarity, to understand cause and effect before acting, and to approach problems methodically rather than reactively. Third, in what way can my actions today reflect virtue and practical wisdom? This connects your thoughts to your deeds, encouraging you to consider the ethical dimension of your choices and to act in a way that aligns with your best self and contributes positively. This simple, three-part reflection, observe, reason, act virtuously, doesn't need to take long. It's a mental touchstone, a reminder of the path to clearer, more impactful thinking and living. It's your daily invitation to think like a genius, inspired by Aristotle. By consciously engaging with these three aspects daily, you move from being a passive recipient of life's circumstances to an active, thoughtful participant. You begin to sculpt your experiences and responses with greater awareness and skill. This is the mindset shift that genius thinking offers. Imagine the cumulative effect of this practice. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Your ability to see clearly, think logically, and act wisely strengthens. The noise of daily life begins to quiet, replaced by a deeper sense of clarity, purpose, and competence. This isn't about achieving some abstract, unattainable ideal of genius. It's about unlocking your personal best, your highest potential for thought and action, grounded in principles that have guided humanity for millennia. It's about practical, everyday flourishing. The challenges of life won't disappear, but your capacity to meet them with insight, resilience, and wisdom will grow. You'll find yourself navigating complexity with greater ease, making decisions with more confidence, and living with a deeper sense of alignment. Aristotle's gift to us is not a rigid set of rules, but a flexible framework for cultivating an excellent mind and character. It's an invitation to a lifelong journey of learning, reflection, and growth, starting with the simple choices you make every single day. So, as we conclude our exploration of how to think like a genius every day through the lens of Aristotle, remember the core message. Everyday genius is a cultivated skill, rooted in purposeful observation, clear reasoning, and virtuous action, consistently applied. The power to transform your thinking and, consequently, your life is not external. It resides within your commitment to these timeless practices. It's about choosing, day by day, to engage with the world and your own mind with greater depth and wisdom. Embrace this Aristotelian path. The shift begins subtly. You might notice yourself pausing before reacting, questioning an assumption you've held for years, or seeing a familiar situation with fresh eyes. These are the first fruits of your daily Aristotelian practice, signs that your mind is sharpening. Consider the clarity that comes from truly observing without immediate judgment. How much energy is usually spent on premature conclusions or emotional reactions? Reclaiming that energy for understanding is a powerful step towards a more genius way of processing your world. Think about the confidence that grows from methodical reasoning. When you've analyzed a situation logically, considered alternatives, and understood the underlying factors, your decisions become more grounded, less driven by fear or impulse. This is intellectual empowerment. Reflect on the sense of purpose derived from acting with virtue and practical wisdom. When your actions align with your deepest values, there's an integrity and satisfaction that superficial achievements cannot offer. This is the bedrock of a flourishing, Aristotelian life. The everyday component is not a burden but an opportunity. Each sunrise brings a fresh chance to practice, to refine, to grow. It's about progress, not perfection. Acknowledge your efforts, however small, as they are the building blocks of a more insightful mind. Aristotle's wisdom isn't confined to dusty books. It's a living tradition, adaptable to our modern lives. By engaging with these principles, you are participating in a lineage of thinkers who sought to understand and improve the human condition, starting with themselves. One profound benefit is enhanced problem solving. By observing the problem accurately, reasoning through its components, and considering virtuous solutions, even the most daunting challenges become more approachable. You develop a resourceful, resilient mindset. Another gift is improved relationships. Purposeful observation helps you understand others better. Clear reasoning aids in communication. Virtuous action guides you to treat others with fairness and compassion, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. Ultimately, thinking like a genius every day, as Aristotle might frame it, is about achieving a state of inner harmony. When your perceptions are clear, your thoughts are logical, and your actions are aligned with your values, you experience a profound sense of coherence and peace. So the question isn't, can I think like a genius? But rather, am I willing to cultivate the habits of mind that lead to genius-like thinking every day? Aristotle assures us that this power lies within our grasp through conscious and consistent effort. Let this journey be one of curiosity and self-discovery. Approach each day as a new page in your book of wisdom. What insights will you gather? What connections will you make? How will you choose to act in ways that reflect your growing understanding? The pursuit of this everyday genius is not a race, but a mindful walk. Savor the small shifts in perspective, the moments of clarity, the quiet satisfaction of a day lived thoughtfully. These are the true markers of progress on the Aristotelian path. Aristotle's enduring legacy is his profound understanding of human potential. He believed in our capacity for reason and virtue, and he provided a roadmap for cultivating these qualities. Your daily practice is a tribute to this optimistic vision of what we can become. As you integrate these principles, observe, reason, act virtuously, into the fabric of your daily life, you will notice a transformation not just in your thoughts, but in your entire experience of being. Life becomes less a series of random events and more a field for meaningful engagement. The challenge and the beauty lies in the consistency. Like a musician practicing scales to master an instrument, your daily mental exercises in observation, reason, and virtue hone your capacity for genius thinking. Each repetition strengthens the skill. This path is not about adopting a rigid dogma, but about internalizing principles that allow for flexible, intelligent responses to the ever-changing circumstances of life. It's about developing an inner compass that guides you towards wisdom and flourishing. The world needs more people who think clearly, observe deeply, and act with integrity. By cultivating these qualities in yourself, you contribute not only to your own well-being, but also to the creation of a more thoughtful and compassionate world. Remember that Aristotle's philosophy is deeply practical. He was interested in how we can live well, here and now. Thinking like a genius every day is, therefore, not an abstract ideal, but a concrete way to enhance the quality of your everyday existence. As you go forth, carry with you this Aristotelian toolkit, the keen eye of the observer, the sharp mind of the reasoner, and the good heart of the virtuous actor. Let them be your companions on the path to everyday genius and a truly flourishing life. The journey to thinking like a genius every day is ongoing, a beautiful unfolding of your own potential. Embrace it with patience, with curiosity, and with the quiet confidence that comes from walking a path illuminated by timeless wisdom. Your most insightful days are ahead.